Now on the APEC VIP hotline, cutting-edge training for the serious athlete, apecgo.com. Joining us now, the head football coach of the Gilmer Buckeyes, Jeff Traylor. How you doing, Coach?
Hey, we're doing great, Bryan.
Congratulations on a 50-7 win over Graham. Were you expecting anything quite like that this past weekend?
No, you never get in the semifinal and think that's going to happen. But, there was an unbelievable wind and probably 25 miles an hour. And, we just played really well the two quarters. We had the wind at our back and just held on the two times we had to go into the wind.
You jumped out to a 29-7 lead at halftime. How do you keep your kids interested at that point?
Well, one, we're not used to being ahead like that, so that was different. And two, Graham had been a tremendous second-half team all year. Both teams were similar in the sense that both teams had come from behind a lot in the season, so it was easy for me to tell my kids that because it was the truth. And we'd seen them on video rally from behind many times.
Tanner Barr, 13 out of 16 for 287 yards and 3 touchdowns. He had a heck of a game. He's a big game player, it looks like.
Yeah, he just keeps getting better. Threw the ball really well. It was tough circumstances to play in just because the wind was so intense. But he put the ball on our kids, and he played really well as he has for about the last 8 games.
And running game is just as functional as always.
Yeah, Josh, Jamel, and Chris all ran the ball well, and of course Devondrick and Chase from the receiver position ran it well, and had some good play action passes, and Patrick and Jaden and Slade made some big catches down the field. So always when those skilled kids are getting named, it means your line's playing really well, and those guys don't get enough credit. They're so improved. I mean, our left tackle, Jackson McQueen's about 175 pounds. Our left guard is Dylan Atkinson. He's about, 5'9", 220. Our center, Dylan Sampson's about 5'8", 210. Our right guard's a really good football player named Brady English. He's about 6'2", 225, 235. Our right tackle, Mitch Lane's about 6 foot, 195 pounds. So
man,
we're not very pretty up front, but they're very scrappy, very intelligent. They move their feet very well.
Well, obviously so. You guys had 287 yards rushing, so you put it on them as far as the ground game was concerned too. Talk about your defense. Obviously, you shut down a high-powered team in Graham.
Yeah, we forced some turnovers. We had an interception or two, and we had they tried a fake punt on us early in the game. And that was a big stop. And then we had a 4th down where we stopped about an inch. Kids played well. Got after them like they always do. And we were excited to be moving on.
I'll bet. Okay, so you go to Cowboy Stadium playing at 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon against Navasota. What do you know about them, first of all?
Well, they've been preseason number 1 all year. They've been number 1. They've only allowed 100 points the entire season. They scored about 700. So, they're phenomenal. They're tons of Division I talent, quarterbacks, a very freak of an athlete, 3 great receivers at number 2, 12, and 17, great tailback in 8. Their offensive line is just huge, about 275, 280 across. Defensively, they've just got, 4 or 5 man-childs over there that you don't know what you're going to do with them. And you can tell why they're number 1. And, we probably don't on paper have a chance, but, that OG on the side of that helmet means something to our kids, and it means something to us, and we're going to get after them and see what happens.
What do you see as being anything that you might have an edge in then?
Just that we've been there so many times, just the deep run through the years. Our backs are good, no doubt about it. But, and our nose guard's a good football player, and Josh is obviously a very good football player. But the rest of our kids are, they're just a lot of program kids that really believe in what we're doing, and we don't really match up, per se. But I've also had those teams before where I was that guy on the other side, where I had the team that, scored 700 and gave up 100, and we got beat. So you're all beatable. Everybody's beatable. It's just a matter, it's not a basketball or a baseball, it's a football, and that thing bounces really crazy. And it's a 1-game series, and it's on Fox Sports TV, so who knows what's going to happen.
You mentioned the G on the helmet. How much does that play into a game like this when you've been there before, your 4th time you've gone to the state championship game since 2004, you've won it twice? What kind of carryover does that have for this football team, or does it have any relevance at all?
Well, it doesn't mean you're going to win. That's
Sure.
There's no doubt. It doesn't mean that, but it does mean we believe in what we do. So therefore, our effort will be fantastic. anything in life that you believe in, whether that's your faith, your family, your friends, whatever it might be. The more belief there is, the more you're going to hold on to it. And just means you're going to play harder, and you're going to believe in what your call is. You're going to believe in whatever you're doing more, which means you're going to do it better. And that's what our kids really do. They truly believe in what we do, and we believe in them. So we might not have enough. We never know. That's why the game's so fun. You don't know. But we do know our effort will be unbelievable Friday at 4 o'clock.
When you look back on this season, is there a particular moment or a particular play or a particular time during practice or something that's going to stand out as being maybe the point where you said, this team's good enough to go to a state championship?
Well, we just believed if we could get some success, enough success to keep our young kids wanting to come to practice and wanting to listen, that if we could get them to the open week, we thought we could make the turn. And we got to the open week at 6-1, and very well could have been 3-4, but we just scrapped out some ball games, very ugly-like. You can go back and just listen to all you and I's radio shows this year, and they were ugly early. I mean, I kept saying it, and you were just like, well, how are you winning? And I was like, well, I really don't know. We're just doing it. And I told everybody if we could just get to the open week. And since that open week, we've played 8 ball games now. We've been really, really good for 8 straight weeks. So probably that G on the helmet got us to the open week, and then our kids have gotten really good here the last 8 weeks.
You always think about when we talk about good coaching jobs, it's usually how much has a team improved from the beginning of the season to now. How much has your team improved from day one to where you are right now?
Well, without question, I can tell you it's the most improved football team that I've ever personally coached. That's just because of where we started. We had the greatest curve to go because we were not very good to begin with. But they really expedited their learning curve. And if I could give an analogy, it'd be like a kid making a 12 on the ACT test his first time. And, by the time we got through taking it 5 times, we're about a 28 or a 29 right now. Now, is that going to be enough to beat Navasota? We don't know. But we're playing really good right now.
Does it ever get old going back to state championship games like this?
Oh, no. It's just, no, because it's different. Every team is so different, Bryan. The chemistry's different. Their skill set's different. The matchups are different. The situation's different. Everything's just always different. No, if it ever gets old, buddy, I'll do something different. I won't do this anymore. There's too much of a commitment to this to do it right if it were to ever get old.
Now, one thing that is going to be really different is going into Jerry's world for a game. Have you ever been in there for a ball game before?
Actually, when Scott won it in 2010, I was on the sideline with Scott, and I always go watch the championship games just so I can get a feel for it. And I've been fortunate to have some NFL players play there, so I go watch those kids every time I get a chance, and they'll give me some tickets. So we've talked about there's some things that are different. I've talked to Thomas at Chapel Hill and Dickey at Henderson. Those guys have all been in there playing. So I've asked all those guys just questions about temperature and, the hashes and the numbers and the crowd noise and just all those things that, logistics. And, of course, Dickey and Thomas and Scott have all been wonderful to us.
That's pretty neat when you got these guys that you compete against, but yet when y'all are when it's all said and done, you guys are all still a fraternity and you work together there at the end.
Well, we really are. We want East Texas to win. It's just good for our guys when it's us. There's no negatives when somebody in East Texas is winning. And sure, we're going to always try to beat Carthage, Chapel Hill, and Henderson on that week, but when we're done with that, we're all rooting for each other. We're in a fraternity that's also, it's a volatile job. And heck, who knows? I might be working for them one day. They might be working for us. There's 2 kinds of coaches, them that's been fired and them that's going to be. So we're just all trying to stay employed.
Well, I think you're going to be employed for another year or 2 at least. I think you're safe.
So. I've got kids, so I need to keep working.
I'm with you completely on that one, I know. Well, Coach, congratulations again on getting there, and best of luck to you Friday night. And we look forward to talking to you next week because it just looks like this is a team of destiny.
I hope you're right. Right now on video, I don't see how we can do it just because of their skill level and their size and their talent. But I would never bet against my kids. I won't be betting against them Friday. I'll be in their corner cheering their heck off and trying to find a way to win.
Well, and we'll be cheering for you too, Coach. Thanks again for coming on with us. We appreciate it.
Hey, appreciate you guys. Have a good day.
You too. Coach Jeff Traylor from the Gilmer Buckeyes on Bryan Houston Sports Radio Live on 99.3 Talk FM.